Today we are having a real conversation, no surface level tactics, no basic tips. This is for the coach or the service provider who knows she's outgrown being just the coach or just someone delivering a service and is stepping into her CEO identity. This is the differentiation point for you. And I'm speaking directly to this 10-15% of the women in this online space, in this industry, who know they were meant to build something way bigger than you as a brand, you as a service, then come work with me. And you know it is time for you to lead a company, not just a personal brand, not to be someone whose business depends on you personally. If you recognize yourself here, put an emoji in the chat. Even if you're catching the replay, feel free to put all your thoughts, everything that lands, so we can talk about it, because we definitely need to finally shift what is happening in this industry and how you are leading your business, how you are operating your business, not just leading, because currently most of the women, most of the entrepreneurs are operating. You're an employee of your personal brand, and it is time that this change. It is time for you to obtain a completely different business model. So what I see daily, day in and day out, with women entrepreneurs who are making 100K per year, 200K, 500K, even $1 million years, and I work with clients who even make $1 million months. And here is what happens. The money is there, but the freedom isn't. You have the success, but it feels like a false freedom. You are still the engine behind it all. Every sale depends on you. Everything that is happening, like every client decision or every day-to-day operational decision, runs through you. You can't step away without things falling apart, or at least this is how you feel. You don't need more clients or another funnel hack or another strategy. Definitely not another content tweak. You need to stop being the whole system. You need to stop being the company, the brand, the one operating every single thing. And even if this sounds like a kind of corporate language, like operational stuff and this vocabulary, you know very well how this feels and what exactly it is. This is daily content, grind, being part of every single thing that is happening, being part of every transaction, doing everything by yourself, and even if you have a team, you're heavily involved into every single activity. And this looks like you are not able to stay calm for even a day and think of your vision, because you're busy to show up on stories, you're busy to post, you're busy to be in the DMs. This is the operational stuckness, and you have to go out of there, because you're no longer the coach or just the service provider, someone who is delivering something. You are CEO. You have to stop being the whole brand, the whole thing, and you need to start thinking like, okay, how am I scaling this company, this business? This means you need to stop being the system. And across industries, across continents, if you wish, the story is the same every time. I see this every single day. You're struggling not because you lack clients, not because you lack capability, but you are struggling whether it's going to be on the day-to-day type of work that you're doing, or your income being kept, or you having to be a part of every single thing, you being the product, the brand, the company. This is because you are operating like a coach. You're doing the day-to-day work, the month-to-month work in a negative cycle. You're working as if you're a coach or a service provider, when you should be running all of this infrastructure needs to be running like a company. And that is the root problem. I know no one in the online space speaks about that, but as I said, this life is for the 10-15% of the women. And even if you are a male entrepreneur, you know this is true. You feel it in your body. It feels like, I cannot keep doing it the same way. And once again, this is not a skill gap. This is not an audience gap, or not fully. This is not a success gap, because you already have the success. But what brought you here is not going to bring you there. This is the infrastructure gap I'm speaking about. It is about how this infrastructure is working without you, and how is your business model set up. The kind of system that holds the business when you step out of the room. And in this new reality, because we are living in this new reality for 2 years already, but this coaching bubble didn't want to admit it, and they kept selling to you, tweak your messaging, until you're collapsing right now because you didn't adapt 2 years ago when it was the right time. And now you're completely exhausted of being the content machine, thinking, what's my next hook? That's not a scalability infrastructure. Content is not a scalability strategy. You're tired of these endless cycles of whether it's going to be DMs or being on stories, launches, constant free webinars. And you are tired of being the bottleneck. And this happens even if you have a team. I see this every single day across industries, sizes of businesses, and global brands, businesses who are globally present. Regardless if you are at 5, 6, or 7 figures, this is the most common issue in 70-80% of the cases. And now you're seeing what I'm talking about very clearly, and this is how it looks like for you. You didn't adapt 2 years ago, not because it's your fault, but because you have been sold a wrong business model. The coaching industry was selling you, just show up, just tweak your content, messaging is your $1 million strategy, and now you see it very clearly. Views and engagement are dropping. It's practically, the organic reach and engagement is practically zero for 6 to 12 months already. The audience quality feels inconsistent because people got tired of buying every single shiny object out there. People are buying differently, and thank God I'm the happiest person because of this. And you see that the old tricks aren't converting like they used to. So the thing is, you don't need better hooks. You need a smarter engine. You need to start, here is the biggest shift that you need to do is only one thing. And this is start thinking like a CEO. like someone who is running a company, not just like someone who is posting content and being a coach, regardless of what you're doing or what you're delivering as a service and transformation. Entrepreneurs in my world haven't tweaked hooks in years because, like, that's so outdated. Excuse me, everyone who is the content queen, but my quantum assistance ecosystem runs content, messaging, sales, funnels, all automatically for 2 years already. No one in my world is wasting time on messaging tweaks, hooks, dancing on reels. We are working in a completely different manner. This doesn't mean your positioning shouldn't be sharp, your messaging shouldn't be on point, and very clearly saying why you're different and why right now this your ideal client should choose you. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that while the coaching bubble is selling hustle and you are still falling for it, I install infrastructure that prints money. And my clients are not into this manner of work. The level of operations and the level of CEO is completely different. And this is what distinguishes a coach or a service provider from someone who is leading a company that doesn't need you to be constantly the face on stories, on lives. And I'm not saying do not show up on stories, do not make lives. If this makes you happy, you could do it every single day. If you think this is your way of expressing, yes, go ahead and do it. But I'm speaking of the moments when you get sick, when something happens with a family member and you cannot show up live. If you are a woman when you get pregnant and you cannot keep showing life every single day. And not only, once again, the shift is here, becoming the CEO. Am I building a company that is scalable and capable to work without me? Or do I have to keep showing up, till the end of my life? There is a huge difference. Not all business models are equal. And you see it in this quiet frustration. I see it, I feel it, even without you speaking to me. I can instantly recognize this quiet frustration in each and every successful woman, successful entrepreneur, successful coach. You're publicly successful, but you're privately exhausted. Inside, you're overwhelmed, you're operating at capacity, full max. And you have no time to sit down and think, okay, let me think of what is happening in the world, in this new economy, in this new AI reality. How are things happening? How can I be the innovator? How can I be the company that is leading people inside my movement and not just being someone average? This is how you are creating a lasting brand. This is how you become top of mind business. You don't want to be the product anymore. You don't want to perform endlessly for every lead or client. You're tired of playing small to just keep up. When I talk to my clients, to people in my world, the conversations is not like how do I get more leads or more clients. We are solving this in an hour seriously in an hour, content written in 10-15 minutes, 5 email sequences, converting sequences written in less than 30 minutes, and your quantum sales assistant doing all of this for you. This is not, I'm not speaking of custom ChatGPT bot. This is something that exists for 2 3, not 3 but around 2 years already. This is a completely different level, my people. Because what I'm talking about when you come to me in one-on-one, it is not how do I get more leads or more clients. CEOs, regardless if you are a coach or any other service provider, but you have the mindset of a CEO, these people are asking me, how do I reclaim my time? How do I scale without being more visible in terms of me personally showing up every single day, or more stretched, or more exhausted? Or other questions are, how do I lead from a place of vision, not from an inbox full of things? And how do I build a business that holds without me in the driver's seat? And I'm not saying you should not do what you love doing, or doing like being in your passion. No, keep doing it. Just do it smartly, not hard. And this is exactly, when you ask these 4 questions, this is exactly where your next level lives. The CEO level, not the performer, not the face of the brand, not the fixer, but the leader of a business that lives beyond you. And you have to activate some other protocols, but let me say it in a simpler language. It is time for you to replace tactics with leadership infrastructure, dismantling performance mode and stepping into calm command, and choosing, this is more really maybe one of the most important things, I cannot stress it enough, choosing long-term wealth architecture over short-term sales cycles. And you are going to recognize yourself in here. You're done being the personal brand. You want systems that bring in sales daily, but not just any kind of sales. We want demand. We want high quality leads who are ready to buy and are buying immediately as soon as they find you. You want to keep nurturing and selling to those who didn't convert it the first time, but in the right way, because here I see even 6 and 7 figure coaches doing funnels wrongly, and you're losing 6 figures months. And this can be done without you needing to launch consistently and constantly. You want a lead generation engine that doesn't rely on viral content or dancing trends or whatever trends, because we are building a lasting business. So there is a big difference. You want to productize your brilliance and scale far beyond one-on-one or group programs, in which there is a very big gap between some people who are at a lower level and other people who are much ahead. And I know this is draining you. You want clients who are not asking for discounts and they are moving quickly. They are not digging into each and every detail. They are like, okay, I want this, tell me how to do it. They go, implement, refine, repeat. And you want a business that grows even when you rest, even when you take time off, or you shift your focus, or you evolve and you say, okay, I want to do something different in a different way, or something else, and you can exit anytime. And I will tell you something that I know you're going to feel very deeply. The CEO version of you is ready to rise and lead. She's already screaming to get out of that box. But you have been in the wrong rooms, rooms that asked you to shrink, or playing it small and being there for too long. You have been working in this performance mode for too long, and now this CEO version of you is desperately screaming to get out. And you know you're ready. You've been thinking all these things that I have just named in this life for 6 or 12 months. And there is one more thing. I know that not everyone is going to hear, you're listening, but you're not going to hear this in the way you should. But here's the thing, not everyone should hear it. And you're going to understand it when you're ready for it. But since you're here and you're still watching this live and still listening and hearing, this means only one thing. Exactly what I told you. The CEO version of you is already screaming to get out. And you already know it. This is why in my world we are not obsessed over leads, clients, tweaking messaging, because all of this is a so outdated story. You get this done and converting in 15 minutes. You often don't even need to get anything done because my quantum assistant ecosystem is doing this for you. And that is not new. We are doing this for a year and a half to 2 years already. We build revenue ecosystems that scale without your presence, sales systems that multiply, repeat and multiply each and every sale and income. We build brands that are unmissable, not just visible, and not in the traditional visibility way that this coaching industry taught you, but businesses that live and grow beyond you. You're not here to hustle, you're here to run a company. That's the most the thing that is going to shift every single thing you're doing like that. You're not here to be the best content creator. Please, honestly, let's stop with this. You're here to be the most effective leader. You don't need another launch plan. You need a business model that reflects your identity shift, your growth. And you already feel it in your body. The old way isn't sustainable anymore. It's not about weakness, but you're seeing it. You're pushing harder and harder with the old hustle mode, the things that used to work, but it's no longer working. And that's the best thing. This is evolution. Your body knows it. And this isn't exhaustion, it's your body telling you the old phase is over. Put it behind you. You don't need to push through. You need to architect the new era, the next level. But you have been taught the wrong model for your next level. You know you built a one-time sales machine, not a long-term wealth system. You're in the client replacement cycle, and trust me, I see this every single day with companies making 300, 400, 500k, even $1 million months. You're living in this replacement cycle instead of compounding ROI. This is also increasing your ad spend, your effort, etc., etc. And you can even have a powerful brand, but your back end is not printing cash without you. And more money won't come from more exhaustion. And I have been there, not once or twice. Every single time when I'm quantum leaping, when I'm evolving, or I see this with every single of my clients, it is normal. As I said, this is the evolution. Some things are going to work perfectly till it's time for them to stop working, and it's time for you to evolve. It is time for you to stop doing things from exhaustion, and you know that your next level is going to come from massive quality traffic, sharper positioning, and a system that compounds revenue even without you being needed or while you do less work. And this isn't a low season. If you are currently experiencing these shifts, that the market is shifting, yes, it had shifted a year or two ago. Buyers are different, luckily, thank God. And you saw it, but you didn't adapt quickly enough. And that is why you are probably seeing a low season, or it's almost like stagnation. But that's the good news. That's the business evolution you've been building toward. And your best decision right now is to refuse to go back and keep doing the same, to look at the future, and to build a business that carries you. This current reality is testing you. Is the business model you have built sustainable? And are you adaptable? Are you able to very quickly react to market shifts and to monitor them, not to predict? Prediction is for some other people. Your role as a CEO is to monitor market trends, market curves, what are the novelties, and implementing them as soon as possible before anyone else. Not to wait for the whole industry to do it and then you catching up. No, you have to be here. And since you're watching me, you are this person, you have these capabilities, this mindset. And what is the next step after you're seeing what is happening or what is going to happen? You make decisions right now. You're not going back. You start preparing for the next big market leap, and you build the business that carries you and will carry you in the future, not the other way around. You're scaling a business model, you're scaling a company, a legacy, something that is going to feed your children and maybe their children as well. And I'm telling you all of this based on my experience after scaling dozens or I, I don't count them anymore, but businesses that make 6, 7, or even 8 figures. And with this infrastructure and the way I'm teaching you, you're doubling. Imagine doubling $1 million month. I'm not speaking of writing one piece of content and having 3 people buying. I'm speaking of doubling your 500K into $1 million dollars, or doubling your $1 million months in no time. And this is happening in all these businesses that I work with behind the scenes. They know how to sell, just like you do. It's not that they are not smart enough, and you are also ahead of many other people, but you have been taught a wrong business model that cannot come with you anymore. Maybe it used to work for 5 years or for 10 years, and I have experienced this myself. There was a time when people, like clients, were coming to me from me doing nothing. I was having a slow day and I was having 2, 3, 5 people finding me today and hiring me with a tiny audience, people who don't know me. But based on my positioning, it was working like that. But things are changing, and if you don't adapt, it's not going to work like that all the time. But I have been ahead of the market curve, and I was not like everyone else, constantly showing up on social media and dancing and being on my stories every single day. One more time I'm going to say, if you love this, keep doing it. Not just my vibe of doing it all the time because I have to keep going. My approach is different. Building a brand that is licensed, licensing my intellectual property. These things keep living in brands that you're buying from every single day, even if you don't see my name under it. And these people are buying on repeat from me. Again, with a very little effort on my end. And this is what you need. I have been implementing all these AI things with global brands for 2 years already. Forbes featured brands. And the thing is that it is time for you to stop building one-time sales machines and instead think and build long-term wealth systems. Stop being stuck in cycles of client replacement when you should be compounding ROI. You have an incredible brand. Now your business model has to catch up, and not just to catch up, but you have to be ahead of what is going to happen on the market. You see the inflation is crazy, you see global leaders are total freaks, you see wars are happening every single day, you see inflation is 40 or 50%. So what are you waiting for? This world, this economy, the shift isn't to work harder. It's to lead differently. It's calling the CEO version of you that doesn't launch harder, but install systems that scale, doesn't nurture leads, but automates high quality traffic into instant conversion, doesn't chase but build systems that multiply impact and revenue and build lasting brands. That is not about doing more, it's about becoming more by doing less of what drains you and more of what moves the company forward. Think company wise, think business model wise, think CEO wise. You have changed and evolved. You are no longer like the 80% of the coaches or service providers. You are already in this 10, 15, 20% of the entrepreneurs, of the CEOs. And when you're ready to step into that next level evolution, to run your business with the strategic leadership of a true CEO and stay ahead of the market curve, we are here to support you. Me, my quantum sales assistants, my overall structure that I have built, and it is fully automated now. It practically doesn't need me more than 1 or 2 hours per day. And some weeks, if I have to be honest, I work like 3 times per week, 3 days per week, because I learned how to replace myself. I saw that more effort doesn't equal more sales, more clients, or better clients, or nothing better for my body and mind. And this is your moment to build the future you have been desiring and maybe preparing for. The right systems, the right leadership, the right support, and they are already in place. You're one decision away. And when you're ready to lead from this vision, not just urgency, we've got you covered. You know what to do, you know where to find us. Just send me a DM. And welcome.